welcome in everybody to our 2021 Time Trials Tournament. Today we have a match between PsychodelicJoey and Tarzan the Great. Looking like our 4th seed versus, or our 4th ranked Time Trial player versus a 28th ranked. In their pool, Joey is 1st seed and Tarzan is their 3rd seed. Although Pool A, which is the pool these players are in, is kind of a death pool. Every player in here is really good. So we'll see if Tarzan can pull something off. He's been improving a lot. Probably the newest player in the community, except for like maybe Liquid Wi-Fi or somebody doing time trials. But as far as I know, very new player. A lot of quick improvement here. So we'll see if he can pull something off, especially on plane. I know he's been doing a lot of work, scoring some of his first top 10 times quite recently. So we'll see what he can do versus Joey here on this first track, being Ancient Lake Card. We've gotten the countdown from the commentators or from the organizers. So players will be starting once we get the stream delay over with. Do we have chat up? So I'm going to pull that up real quick. As we're off. Clean little sync here. Both players I would expect to be kind of even on card, especially on a track like Ancient Lake, right? Very short, not a huge advantage you can gain on people, but anything will count for a lot here. As Joey finishes off his first lap with 11 bananas. Not going to be a huge difference versus Tarzan, but he did have 2 extra bananas throughout the entirety of the first lap. Half a second ahead on the first lap already. A lot closer on their second lap though, so Tarzan definitely showing that he can keep up. Coming up on this last turn here. Very quick track here. Players will be getting 3 attempts at each of these tracks. 42-48 and a 43-43. Very nice. Tarzan's PB on his first attempt. So the onus is now on Tarzan to see if he can pull out a PB, or if he can't, then Joey's just going to take this first track. Joey's really solid on card. From what I've seen from him, car seems to be his strongest vehicle, but to be 4th ranked in time trials, you got to be really strong in every vehicle. As Joey gets into his second attempt, looks like he's not going to set up full ghostless. Tarzan is leaving the menu and setting up full ghostless, getting rid of that ghost, not dealing with any of the lag. Lag does affect your times in these time trials, both in terms of just lagging the game and causing the frame rate to be slower, and also it affects the way you hit your zippers too. So someone like Tarzan's going to be trying to maximize everything he can get, getting rid of all that lag. 1571 first lap versus a 1521. Tarzan not doing bad at all here, but Joey's just showing off why he's one of the top seeds in this tournament with 42.26. In fact, beating his first time. Already had put down a pretty solid time, just picking up a better one. I don't know if Joey had any time to warm up. He said he was just getting home and setting up his stream when we were setting all this up, but already just coming strong out the gate. Not more than a full second off his actual PB. A little bit of frames from Joey's stream, but hopefully that clears up. A 45.15 from Tarzan on his second attempt. Not as good as his first one, so we'll see if he can drop his time. That will count towards his best time here, or if the 43 stands as his best time. Already a pretty solid time, but you gotta hope for something a little better. Let's pay attention to Tarzan here, because this is where all the marbles are on the line. Ooh, big bonk from Tarzan there, and with that, I don't think he can get a 42 anymore. He would have to pull off like some Kev level play here to really pop it off, but we'll see. Maybe he can get some nice laps, maybe a flat PB for the stream. Joey with another 42, all 42s on his attempts here. Very impressive from Joey, straight out the gate. So yeah, Tarzan already passed 42 on his timer. Not going to be the attempt for him. But maybe a nice warm-up for him. I also don't know how much Tarzan has gotten a chance to warm up. we do have at least 7 tracks for you guys to watch today. The format of the tournament is that it's we have to start off with 3 of every vehicle, and the first person to get to 7 wins will win the match. So let's say, just for example, Joey wins all the matches, right? Tarzan could pick another 2 card tracks, and then he would be out of card tracks. And then he would be able to pick 3 either plane or hover tracks, or 2 of each, for a total of 7. If he wins tracks, however, then they're limited to 3, 3, and 3 of each vehicle. So we will see some variety coming in these next few tracks. Tarzan counterpicking Treasure Cave's plane. So I spoke before the stream started up about how Tarzan is very solid, has improved a lot, especially on plane, and I think this is a sign of that, right? Tarzan feeling like he might be able to pull an upset in plane. Both because of his solid times and just plane is that volatile of a vehicle, honestly. You only get 3 attempts here, and if you get bonks on all 3 attempts, you might not live up to your potential on these tracks. Maybe Tarzan feeling like he's been practicing here a little more than Joey might have. So let's see if he can pull off an attempt like he wants to. Ooh, Tarzan 2 seconds ahead in the first lap, so far this is paying off. Ooh, Joey taking the lead though. That turn very, very slow from Tarzan, you know what he wanted. Though he has shown that he can pick up pace. Ooh, and then front flip from Tarzan. Gonna have to take the rest of this attempt as some practice, some warm up. Get used to these lanes, optimizing. Getting a couple bonks here. See what kind of time Joey finished off here. Another bonk. It's all good. As long as you keep all of your mistakes in the sim attempt, they actually don't even matter. You get 3 attempts and only your best one counts. Looked like a 49 from Joey. Tarzan's closed off. A 104, not what you want if you're Tarzan, but you do have 1 attempt. You're not stressing. Joey only getting 2 bananas out of that first line. A little surprising, and also taking the hard bonk on that rock. That rock is not being nice to either of the players right now. Joey also narrowly avoiding that ship mast. Does, however, bonk on the wall. Also, we can see that Tarzan's PB is a 45, and Joey got a 49. So, definitely very possible from Tarzan to pull something off here. A little bit of a bonk, but doesn't fully lose his speed. Definitely still within range to pinch off a 49. With a 22 first lap, though, Joey not exactly on pace to beat his first attempt. Another big bonk from Tarzan. I did see him in the commentary channel asking about how much time he would have to warm up and all that, so maybe he just didn't get the chance to warm up like he would have liked to. .220 laps from Tarzan. It's not exactly what you want to see. You would prefer if your first lap were your slowest lap. And another front flip from Tarzan. Not exactly uncommon, but two and 2 attempts is a little surprising to see to me. Yeah, plane boss. Very painful stuff. Tarzan not taking off his ghost for this last attempt, does however miss those 5 bananas. Thankfully this is time trial, so the bananas will be there on the next lap, but doesn't get the benefit from them this lap. So far so good from Tarzan, 18 lap. Does miss the zipper, but the bananas are here waiting for him. Next Joey takes off in his last attempt. We'll see if he can drop the bar lower for Tarzan, or if Tarzan can just blast through. Maybe missing that zipper will be a little much for him. 1740 first lap from Joey. I think the best first lap we've seen so far. Maybe that quick second break is all I needed. And a 51 from Tarzan. Solid attempt. Especially a solid lap, a 1481, but not going to be enough to take the round off Joey here. Joey kind of looks like he's pacing here. I didn't see a second lap, but 15 can't be too bad. Looks like he's going to pinch off a 47, in fact. Wow. Solid stuff from Joey. Oh, a 48.03. Okay. The timer lies sometimes. So yeah, Joey so far taking a match on plane, taking a match on car, looking solid on both vehicles. Tarzan definitely seemed capable there. It's just the bonks were just a little too often. The front flips, they all added up. And you only get 3 attempts, so you need at least one of them to be clean from yourself, you know? So it looks like our next match will be happening. Not sure where actually Tarzan is yet to pick, but it will be Tarzan's pick. Looks like he's floating around in Snowflake Mountain, maybe trying to see some ice. Fossil Canyon car, it looks like, will be the pick for the next vehicle. Interesting pick from Tarzan. I'd be a little scared of the car picks versus Joey, especially since, like, if you're scared of a vehicle, you only have to play one out of your first 7 attempts. But maybe he wants to pick some tracks that he thinks he can do well in the vehicle in, instead of giving Joey the chance to pick somewhere where, like, Snowball Valley, and Joey has the record there, right? Because if you do plan to take rounds, you have to pick. How am I trying to say this? So even though you only have to play 7 matches, if you plan to take some rounds, you're gonna have to play every vehicle. So even on your weaker vehicles, you might just want to pick tracks that you actually like on that vehicle, instead of being forced into something that's just yucky for you. The players are off on their attempt. Tarzan going for the jump here over the lake, whereas Joey taking the safer route, taking the bananas. We'll see what pays off for each player. Joey, of course, going to get the faster first lap, but not Joey. Tarzan will get the faster first lap, but Joey will have the 10 banana advantage throughout the laps. Looks like a 4 banana lead, but big bonk on the lake jump there, pond jump rather. Not exactly what you want to see on your opening round, but better than seeing it on your last round when you have the deficit. 221 laps from Tarzan there. Clean stuff so far. If he pulls off another 21, which it seems like he will not, but definitely was on pace for a 103, which in time trials is very nice stuff. Very nice stuff even with the balloons on. So good stuff to Tarzan. And with the bonks evening out, we're going to see a pretty close first round, 105.86 Tarzan, which it seems like is the lead, versus 106.33. So half a second difference in the end. Yeah, Tarzan not happy about that 3rd lap in the Discord. Understandably so though. 103 is a solid time. 103 is actually Tarzan's PB. If you look in the bottom right of the screen, we have the players' PBs on each of these tracks, all updated in between every track. Very solid stuff from our restreamers here. There's Joey getting underway with his 2nd attempt. Tarzan taking the time to get rid of the ghost. Does not want lag playing a factor here. Solid zipper from Joey there. That's really like one of the biggest things for this lap if you want to do well here. That zipper in the tunnel, you can get a lot of speed from it or you cannot, and you're not going to hit another zipper for a good while, so you need that speed to be carried through the lap. Joey, or Tarzan, missing his first zipper there. Not going to be a hot start, especially when you're like taking the risky route and you're avoiding the bananas. It's not what you want to see. He does, however, have the lead going in here, so if Joey makes a mistake, he can afford to throw away a round. It's kind of looking like Joey's not going to slow down though. If he gets like another 19, he's also on pace for a 103 or 102. Yeah, looking like a 103. Not too far off Tarzan's PB here, it looks like. A 103.46, actually ahead of Tarzan's PB by a little over a frame. GG's to Joey. Actually getting too much height on his jump is Tarzan. Bonking into the ceiling of the tunnel there. You do want speed there, but bonking is never good. Tarzan going to close out 107, something I'd be happy with, but I'm sure Tarzan is not. especially if you're keeping an eye on the times that Joey is getting. Joey picking up bananas for his last attempt here. Not going to change up the game plan. He says if it worked for me and I got a 103 once, I can do it again. Maybe he plans to do better. Another high 22 first lap. So I think if he closes out another 219s here, interesting jump there. Doesn't get a whole lot of height, but he does maintain the speed. It's looking like a really solid lap here. A low 20, almost a 19. So yeah, if we get a 19 here, we could see a 101, 102. More likely a 102. Tarzan put some good time on this track. That he has. I think that's what the pick is all about. Tarzan is picking things that are fresh in his mind, and he has a good chance of putting a solid rundown on. There are over 100 different tracks to time trial on, so it can be easy to get a little rusty on any given track. A 103.53 from Joey though for his last attempt. Both one frame ahead and behind Tarzan's PB. Showing he can be very consistent here. Tarzan with a 23 first lap, I don't think we'll be able to match Joey's time, especially not after that bomb. But definitely showed the potential he has here. I think all of these attempts were 1 or 2 bonks away from being in contention with Joey's time, in contention for PB with himself as well. Definitely expect to see something from Tarzan there in the next couple weeks. But that will be the 3rd point for Joey. These rounds are going back quick. Yeah, we have 2 of our car tracks down, 1 of our plane. We still have all 3 hover, and we need to see at least 1 hover. As we see Tarzan hovering over a hover track as we speak. Pirate Lagoon, probably one of the coolest hover tracks in my opinion, especially in balloon races, but even in time trials, just a very small enclosed track. Got some cool jumps, a lot of places you can keep speed, get some cool air. Very volatile track to be sure, but maybe that's what Tarzan's looking here. Looking forward here, rather. Both players getting ready on their pause screen, waiting for the countdown from the organizer. It looks like Tarzan's PB here is a 102, but I know for a fact he's capable of the sub 1, whereas Joey has a 54, which is kind of intimidating, but like I said, Tarzan definitely capable of popping off a PB. Would not put it past him one bit. Cool, we got the countdown down in the Discord. I'm just gonna wait for the streams to catch up here. Also, if we see here, Tarzan's flap is actually like a fair bit better than his 3-lap PB. He's ranked 32nd there, whereas his 3-lap is 41st place. Actually opting for bananas. Interesting play from Tarzan. We saw him on Fossil Canyon take the riskier route, but on Pirate Lagoon taking the safer banana route. Maybe a difference between vehicles, maybe just specifically this track he feels that way about. But definitely a difference in strategy there. And a 21 first lap from Joey, high 22 from Tarzan. Slight lead, but bonks can happen. Ooh, Tarzan not getting a whole lot of speed from that zipper is going to hurt a little bit. Getting some nice turns here though. Joey with an 18 and slowing down. Tarzan also improving his lap by 2 seconds. Let's see what Joey's coming up on here on this last lap. Looking like he's going to beat Tarzan's PB on this first attempt. So we saw there, Tarzan, fair few mistakes on that attempt and only a 103, 1 second off his PB. So, like I said, the man is definitely very capable of popping off something new here. Would not be surprised at all if this 102 is a very old time from Tarzan. With 218 laps from Joey though, you gotta be a little scared if you're Tarzan. Not easy laps to match, especially not to match twice in one attempt. So we'll see if Tarzan can keep up with that or if Joey's just gonna drop the bar even lower. I definitely see Tarzan capable of a 58 here. Ooh. An unfortunate bonk on that first turn though is gonna leave Tarzan unable to hit that first zipper and gonna cost him a lot of time in this first lap. Just tried cutting the corner a little close. Ooh. Was a super solid lap from Joey. Seemed to lose a little speed from the last zipper. I'm not sure why, but did get a solid lap in nonetheless. High 20s and nothing to be ashamed of. See Tarzan over here in the second lap. 23 first lap, not the greatest, but with that bonk, can't really expect much better. So we see a 17 on the second lap from Joey. Apparently he was done with those 18s. Odds on Tarzan getting submitted, I'd say they're high. Fire Lagoon is a volatile track, but like I said, not surprised one bit at all if it happened. Second attempt not being so nice to Tarzan. Joey, however, does seem like he's getting another solid time with a 57. Around a second better than his first attempt. Maybe getting warmed up on hover here since this is our first hover track. But yeah, very interesting to be seeing this route from Tarzan. I don't think I've ever seen anybody go for those extra couple bananas. When I see people go for the bananas, they go for extra bananas at all. They take the zipper and then get the 3 bananas on that half crescent sandbank. Which is a few more bananas. It might lose a little more time, but the 3 extra bananas might be worth it. Joey with a low 21st lap to start off his last attempt. Tarzan with another 23. It's looking a little hard for him to be able to match Joey's time at this pace. Another 17 from Joey. Showing himself to be a force in this tournament. If you're one of the higher seeds, or really anybody else in this tournament, you're watching Joey's matches, I'd be pretty scared so far. A lot of Joey's matches, he's been playing super close to his PBs. And that's honestly the scariest thing in this tournament. Having a good PB, super beneficial of course, but being able to play close to them, even more important, I think. In a tournament setting, you want the consistency. And Joey getting almost the exact same attempt that he got on the last attempt. I don't know if the time was exactly the same. I might pull up the spreadsheet just to give it an eye and see if it's the exact same time, but the lap's looking extremely similar. So we wait for the players here to pick their next track. Yeah, it looks like Joey was within 0.2 seconds on those 2 attempts. 0.13 seconds, in fact. Very consistent stuff. Let's keep an eye out for where these players are going next. Tarzan asking, and I might as well clarify for the stream, you cannot repeat tracks. Once a track has been played, even if it was on a different vehicle, that track is gone. So that is another thing the players can use in this tournament to try to strategize around. If you don't want to play something like Ancient Lake Car, right, but you do feel confident there in playing, instead of like worrying about banning it or something, you could just take your opponent there in playing and it's no longer in play at all. Looks like we're going to Spaceport Alpha Hover. Joey not exactly happy about the pick, but I think it's an interesting track. It's got one really big part to it that gives it a lot of identity, which is the wind tunnel. Definitely the biggest deciding factor on whether or not you get a good time on these laps. Understandable that you would not like it since it can be hard to get out of there. You can lose your height, get into the corner a little quickly, and get the full potential out of your lap. Got the countdown from the restreamer. A clean sync too. Stream's keeping up very well since the last resync. Joey going for 1 extra banana here versus Tarzan. And still able to keep the lead actually. Speaking of the wind tunnel, you see there that Joey got a very clean one and Tarzan hit it into the corner a little early, so he didn't manage to get the height that he needed. There is this plane zipper here that you see that you can hop up and hit with the hovercraft. Can't hit that on car, but can't hit it on hover since you got that little hop. It's Joey just putting down a clinic on this first lap. This track not having mini zippers kind of just comes down to your snaking and your tapping. Also your line, and like I said, this big wind tunnel, but it seems like even before we got to the wind tunnel, Joey kind of showing off his dominance here. Tarzan having some issues with the wind tunnel though. A little eager to get over to the side and get a really fast dismount, I guess is what you would call it. If you stay in the middle of the tunnel too long, you're just not going to get a good dismount. You're going to stick in the air for too long. You do want to be on the ground as often as possible. That is where you generate your speed. But this is the first attempt and Tarzan had already made a mistake, so maybe he's just trying to find the limits here. Doesn't exactly have to play it safe since this attempt probably will not be his best one. Yeah, I'd say the vent is an extremely difficult obstacle, no matter what vehicle you're in. In plane, maybe a little more manageable than anywhere else since you can manage steep heights and hills. But even then, to do it optimally and do it quickly, very difficult. Nice 34 lap from Tarzan, actually matching Joey's best lap here. I didn't quite see the milliseconds on Joey's lap, but he might have actually beat him, so that's a good sign if you're Tarzan. Some comedy from Tarzan with the lull there, showing us he's very happy with that. Actually, that looks like it was a flat PB for Tarzan, so GG to him. Showing us he's not nearly done on this track. Nice, gets a good dismount there, does Tarzan. The experimenting he did on track 1 definitely paying off. Joey coming up on the end of his first lap, gets a 35, not quite as good as his first attempt, but could still close out something a little better. 37 first lap from Tarzan though. Looking about the same as his first attempt. I do recall him not getting the best vent though, so maybe he can save some time there. Looking like he's still ahead of his ghost. Not quite sure why, but some of these times Tarzan is not opting to get rid of his ghost. So on these attempts we will be able to see if he's beating his best time so far. Joey with a 32-second lap, improving his best lap from the last attempt by quite a fair bit. If you're Tarzan here, you're hoping for a big bonk or something. This is a good time incoming from Joey. Last turn of the lap here. Let's see what kind of time he's coming on. Looks like sub 140 pace. We'll have to see if the timer lied or truly we got a sub 140. And it does look like a low 139. 139.33. So now the ball is definitely in Tarzan's court. Can he get a 9-second PB? Going to be kind of rough, but if anybody can do it, it is Tarzan. Tarzan known to break limits, pop off, and get a lot better at these tracks. Tarzan not happy about his attempts, communicating through the 3 letters of text that he gets in between tracks. Clever stuff. See, that's the first time we've seen that during the tournament. Ooh, Tarzan falling back down into the vent. Gonna cost him quite a few precious seconds on these last attempts. Unfortunately, not what you want to see on your last attempt, especially when you don't have the lead. We'll see if you can see a miracle out of Tarzan here, but looking like a rough track here for him. Also, Joey showing off his dominance on hover. I mentioned early on that I thought car was his strongest vehicle, but showing he's no slouch at all on cover. You're right, Zuby. I think that was a 3-lap PB. Looking at his previous PB in the bottom right there, it looks like that was a 148. And I definitely saw a 147. Yeah, looking at the spreadsheet, he did put down a 147, so a nice PB from Tarzan, both on the flap and on the knee flap. Joey closing out his last attempt at the 142. Super solid stuff from Joey. Maybe not the last lap that you wanted with that 35, but showing off his consistency here. With an obstacle like that wind tunnel, you can't expect super consistent laps here. Tarzan rounding the bend here on the last lap. Not going to be a sub 150, but a 153 for the man. Ooh, and another 1-lap PB. Pretty big one this time, actually breaking the second barrier, getting below the 34 with a 33.86. I think Tarzan is streaming. It might be local recording, so I'll have some PBs to submit after the race. I'm not sure if that's something Tarzan expected, but nice little gain to have after the race. Okay, so the score is 5-0. Joey has been pretty dominant this set so far, but we've only seen one plane track. We've seen 2 car tracks and 2 hovers so far. And it looks like we'll be seeing our third car track on Dark Moon Cavern. This will be our third and potentially final car track. If Tarzan can manage to start taking some rounds here, we will see the comeback of car in about 3 attempts. But we do need Tarzan to take some rounds if we want to see more car. Honestly, pretty surprising to me that we didn't see more playing from Tarzan. I thought he did pretty well on Treasure Caves, had the potential to take the match, but maybe looking at the bonks he got, he just didn't think he could muster the consistency in such a short amount of time. Okay. Got both players pretty close to sync here, starting up their first attempt on Dark Moon Caverns. Joey doing a really good job in picking up 6 bananas on that first bend, whereas Tarzan only gets 4. 4 is still pretty solid, but Joey showing off why he is a top time trials player. This bend here, also another huge spot in the track. Can lose or gain a lot of time here. And then these little loop-de-loops, pretty fun when you're playing casually. In the speedrun, you kind of just hold right and wait to get out of them. A little reprieve for your attempts. Maybe if you got a little bit of nerves, you gotta wipe your brow, gives you a second. As Tarzan only has 6 bananas going into his second lap here. Not exactly what you want, but it looks like his first lap was relatively clean. Big bonk on the second, but it is Dark Moon. Is to be expected. Joey, however, not expecting that at all. Kind of zooming past his laps. Looking like a 34 lap? Oh, 32 lap, my bad. Streamer can do math. Commentator can do math. 35 lap from Tarzan. Definitely can improve both those first laps. Saw some mistakes on both of those. Joey looking to really lay down the law on this first attempt though. Looking like he's on pace for like a 137. We'll see here. Yeah, it looks like a 137, which is super solid. Scary attempt from the man. Not sure what placing that would be on the leaderboards, but definitely lower than 30. We'll see here what Tarzan managed to close out. A 146, I see. His PB is a 141, so maybe not exactly what he wants. But we'll see if Tarzan can live up to that potential, maybe get a PB. Would it be the first PB we've seen this race? Joey looking really nice on that jump. I don't really know how to refer to these areas on this map. A lot of them pretty similar, but the area of the map with the sulfur vents, I guess, is what they are, and you take the zipper and jump into the cave. That area is very easy to bonk in. Much easier to bonk in than to get through, especially if you're trying to go as fast as Joey is. Some people will play it safe there, but Joey kind of trying to pull off the best he can. Playing to the format of the tournament well. Pretty similar first laps from both players. Both in the 35 range. It's got the loop-de-loops coming from Joey. A little bit of delay from Tarzan's stream, but I'm sure we'll be back soon. 32 lap. Looking solid from Joey. A lot of speed coming through these vents. There's going to be a better turn move for those, but we're going to call them the vents for these attempts. Fader vents. Coming up on the end of this third lap is Joey. Let's see what kind of time he can close out. Looking like another sub 140, at least close to it. Not exactly. Sulfur vents, yeah, that's kind of what they look like to me. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure if there's a lore booklet out there that we can reference. But for now, for the context of this match, that is what we will call them. Alright, let's see Joey going in his third attempt here. Already got a pretty solid attempt in. I think it was a 137, I can double check real quick. Yeah, a 137.61, so let's see if you can match that. Gonna be a hard time to match. But Joey is a top player. His PB is well above or well below that time as well, so would not be surprised one bit. See what kind of time he gets on this first lap. Looking like a 32, which is super solid. Not sure what kind of time this can shape up to be, but I'm excited to see. Hopefully the rest of this track is nice to him. A little bit of a bonk on the wall there, but doesn't fully lose his speed or get stuck. Here on the loop-de-loops. Tarzan, I think, is on his third attempt. Let's check the sheet real quick and see if we can confirm what kind of time he got on this last attempt. I'm not exactly able to keep up with this stream, but it looks like a 147 from his second attempt. Tarzan having some internet issues, but not the biggest deal. Players should be local recording. And even if they're not, we do have the spreadsheet to keep up with their times on. Tarzan, a very trustworthy community member. I would not expect him to lie or do anything of the sort. Hopefully he does still have his internet. But yeah, as long as he can interact with the spreadsheet and keep us up to date, I think we'll be fine. So it looks like we might take a second here. Not sure if Tarzan is able to communicate with the Discord at the moment. We do have Tarzan typing, so maybe we shall be fine. If Joey is able to take this last round, this will be the last round. I guess that was kind of prefaced by me calling it the last round, but it has come down to that. Joey on point or on match point versus Tarzan. Joey gonna have to pick something. Tarzan gonna have to pick something he feels confident in. Tarzan gonna take a quick sec to check on his internet. Maybe he can help us out, get us a view of his gameplay for the last round. Yeah, Zuby, I'm having a lot of A lot of issues with just saying the wrong player. Not sure why. Not really many similarities in the word or the typing or spelling of the names. So. Hope y'all are enjoying the jams. We got a pretty sick playlist here. I think this specifically was recommended to us by Morse. Very jamming stuff. Seems like SNES music. Looks like we will be taking a small break here. Don't expect too long, but if y'all need to stand up, stretch your legs, this is the time. Yeah, we do have one hover pick and 2 plane picks left, so this next track does only have the option of being either plane or hover. There are no more car picks unless Tarzan can clutch out 3 more attempts. He will have to clutch out 1 plane and 2 plane and 1 hover pick if he wants to play any more car. Looks like Tarzan is going to get his local recording going just in case. Looking like we're hovering over Hot Top Volcano here from Tarzan. This is both a hover and a plane track, so I'm not sure what he's thinking. But knowing Tarzan and just like seeing the tracks that he's been picking to work on in the last couple weeks, I would think plane. As I look over to the Discord and see HTV plane. So yeah, Tarzan, this is one of the tracks he's been putting a lot of work in the last couple weeks. In the out of bounds, he definitely clutched out a top 10 time here. Don't remember if exactly on the flap or on the 3 lap. But even inbounds, you can see here, holds 20th place time with a 103. So super solid from him. Just gonna give the players a second here to switch characters, get over to the restart screen, get all synced up and ready to start their runs. Ooh, 2 barrel rolls to start off this attempt from Joey. Gonna get a little bit of a pause here so that he can sync up the players, but let's see how Tarzan's initial strat differs here. I usually only see people go for a single barrel roll. Yeah, we see Tarzan going for something a little more standard, a little safer. But Joey putting the pedal to the metal here. Says, I want both barrel rolls. Tarzan having a bit of a stuffed cave there, not able to pick up all the bananas, but still making good time on this first lap. Ooh, Joey takes a huge bonk, and Tarzan's gonna take the lead from that bonk. Let's see if he can maintain this through the attempt. There is no guarantee of taking the round just because you've taken the lead in the attempt. But it is a solid sign as Joey takes another bonk with his one opportunity to take back the lead. If Tarzan plays consistent here, he definitely has the lead. Very similar first laps, but Tarzan having the better of the second laps. Looking clean from Tarzan right here. Let's see if he can hit both the ending zippers. 1 and 2. Oh, but he slams into the ground with the last barrel roll, and Joey takes the advantage on the last tiny stretch. Could not have been more than half a second less than the lap. cannot be happy if you're Joey or if you're Tarzan there. But a 1703 lap from Joey. I wish we had paid a little more attention there. Did not really even know 1703 was an option. So yeah, let's keep an eye on Joey and see what kind of strats he used to pull off that kind of time. Can't say I expected that at all. It's a massive comeback from the man. Looking really solid on his first lap. Probably going to be able to beat his 25 from the last attempt. With a 21. Monstrous first lap. Definitely well on pace for a sub 1. Both switchers hit very clean from Joey here. 18-21. Quite the insanity that was the 1703, but super solid pace for a sub 1 here. As Tarzan bonks on this first tunnel here. Not going to be the start you want. Also short a few bananas. And a zipper. But he does have another attempt. And the rest of this attempt to practice. Get some strats going. Get the chicken man well lubricated. Going a little risky there with that last barrel roll. Maybe trying to experiment to see what boundaries he can push. Yeah, 57 from Joey. Super solid stuff. It's a backflip from Tarzan. I think we're starting to see why Tarzan did not want to pick another plane up until his back was against the wall. Plane can be super fun of a vehicle, but it's also the easiest to make huge mistakes on. You can end up backflipping, bonking the walls, missing a barrel roll, what have you. Definitely the most prone to huge mistakes. Car and hover mistakes will lose you time, but nothing like plane. Hard to match the pain that plane can give to you. Joey with another 57. I think that is the third attempt from Joey, right? No, that's... I'm confused there. Or did he just close out another time within, like, actual frames of his other attempt? Because it looks like on the spreadsheet he wrote down 57-18. Either I'm late to reading the Discord, or he just closed out another really solid attempt. I do think Tarzan is on his last attempt here, though. Let's see if he can clutch out something. Actually, I'm very confused. Now that I'm looking at the spreadsheet, Tarzan is not filled in a second time, so this is Tarzan's second attempt. In fact. My apologies. Not sure what Joey's waiting for. Maybe he wants to sync up the last attempt or something. Maybe he knows he's a little ahead, wants to take a sec to breathe. See if he can clutch out a 56 for us. So we get a 120 from Tarzan on the next attempt. Actually, a 103 from Tarzan, my bad. Very close to his PB. Getting a little confused here, cross-referencing the sheet and stuff. So I think we are done here. I think the players just have not hit enter on their spreadsheet, so the time's not showing up for the rest of it. Yeah, there we go. Joey confirming that was his last attempt. Thank you, Joey. Yeah, a little confusing when the spreadsheet doesn't update right away, but we will have the players coming in for interviews, hopefully, if they're both available. Have a mic set up. But yeah, it was a fun match to watch. Tarzan getting some PBs, Joey closing out some insane times for us to watch. Showing why he's the top seed in this pool. GG's to Joey, welcome in.
Hey, what's up?
Not much, man, just having fun watching your match. Some insane times you got there.
Yeah, the treasure caves really threw me out because I haven't played that since I got the one lap record like sometime earlier last year. It's been over a year since I played that level. I never practiced it, so I gotta get to that because I know people like Kavas and Obaya would definitely pick it.
Right. Yeah, Tarzan was keeping close on that track. It just plane was a little rough for Tarzan today. Just got some big bonks and wasn't able to match your time.
Yeah.
GG's to Tarzan. Welcome in. How are you feeling about the match?
Is my audio good here?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Alright, good. So I guess my game plan going into this was pick the tracks I felt most confident on. I looked in the website for like the matchups and saw that I had absolutely 0 winning matchups on any track. So that had the high confidence boost going into this. But I picked tracks that I was confident in for at least the first part, and then I lost confidence and just started picking things that like had high choke potential. Maybe something that could have kept it close, like Spaceport Alpha Hover. That was something I was like, yeah, maybe this could throw him off. We could be a little closer there. It didn't really work out.
Yeah, that's the thing about volatility. It applies to you as well, so can't be sure it's gonna work out in your favor. But I understand the pick. You got to try something against a monstrous player like Joey.
The pools grouping really kind of screwed me over this time. That you gotta take what you get, try to do your best.
Yeah, you definitely had a monster pool. Pool A looking like the death pool for sure. Was that the first of your matches, Tarzan?
Yes, I have another one with Ben later today.
Oh yeah, we do have matches later on in the afternoon.
Yeah, I actually earlier I mentioned like to those guys if like I could do a match later tonight. I'm moving tonight. Like right after this, I am packing and I'm moving. So like I don't know like tonight later if Ben would be up for a double, because he'd be the last guy I need to face.
Double header between everybody in Group D. Let's go.
Yeah. I let Tarzan have the pick this game. Because I'm trying to like see what he wants, and I want to see like levels that normally I'm always gonna pick like Snowball Valley Car, Hot Top Volcano Plane.
That's what I tried to avoid. I was like, I know he's gonna pick Snowball Valley if he wins the pick, so.
Yeah, so I'm just like I'm trying to get practice on every like niche level, like a lot of hovers and some of the harder car ones. Like definitely Fossil Canyon, and I have to get in sub 1 shape soon. My best is a 101.98, so definitely I want to get that down to like 58.
Canyon was a lot closer than I thought it was gonna be. I was hoping I'd pull something out at the end.
Yeah, Fossil Canyon was rough to see from you because you had.
Bad, but definitely could have been better.
Yeah, exactly. You were doing not terrible, but you could have pulled off something better for sure. But yeah, GG's.
Yeah, GG is fun.
We do have a match.
Hey,
Go ahead.
oh yeah, good news. So even though I bought the Retro Tink, I found a 12-inch CRT, so I can bring it with me. So I can definitely do that.
Loggers. Being able to continue playing the game, always good. But yeah, we do have another match later today at 1:30 p.m. EST, potentially maybe 2 p.m. We'll have to see if we can reschedule that. Ideally at 1:30 so that you can fit our matches in comfortably, but 1:30 or 2 p.m. EST, check back in and we'll have some more matches for you guys. We'll have Asbo and Fish, and then another match right after that. So check back in. Do you guys have any more comments for the stream before we sign off here?
That I can think of.
It was fun. Definitely gonna do a lot more practice, and I'm ready. I want to face Kavess and then Obayo and Sweener. Those are the guys I'm like really training for.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck when you're in the bracket. That's all I gotta say, man. You're doing really well.
Hey, you too, man. Keep going, and I'd like to see you beat try to go under 1 minute for Fossil Canyon because I know you've been doing that level a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. All for me. I gotta go get packing.
Yeah, good luck with your move. Wishing you a safe drive.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
And thank you everybody for watching. That will be it for this match. Check back in a couple hours, 1:30 EST, 2 p.m. EST at the latest. And yeah, I think that'll be it for us. Signing off. Have your day.